Friends, today is the 3rd of August. It's a Saturday, 2024, and I'm going to recite for you a very famous passage. You've heard it many times, but you can't talk about gifts without including something from this great passage that is 1 Corinthians 13. I'm going to read 7 verses. If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I'm like a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have prophetic powers, so that I understand all mysteries, if I have all knowledge and faith, so I can move the mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions and hand over my body so that I may boast. So that's if you were to cash in all your chips and just give away everything. You'd be that generous. Or hand over your body. That's martyrdom. That's a phrase that means martyrdom. If I were willing to give up my life for my principles, but were to do that without love, I would gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. It's not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It doesn't insist on its own way. It's not irritable. It keeps no record of wrongs. It doesn't rejoice in wrongdoing. It rejoices in the truth. It bears, believes, hopes, and endures all things. I love the older translation of that. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Where you say all things all 4 times, just for emphasis. Now, love is obviously talked about a lot, but here in an interesting way, we see its relationship to abilities and calls and giftings. Paul says there isn't a gift that has power without love independently. Heavenly speech just becomes a droning noise. Prophetic powers and knowledge and faith and generosity and martyrdom meaningless without love. Love animates and directs the other gifts. It gives them life and it gives them direction or purpose, so that those gifts are not used to burnish reputations, to score points, to impress others, to control people. And this, if this sounds a little theoretical, love animating gifts, Paul puts it into the context of our daily life. He says, how can you tell that love is powering someone's service and their abilities? Well, you'll be able to tell if they're patient when others are difficult. They're humble. They have ego control. And so they're not boasting or envious or arrogant. They're not wasting time comparing themselves to others. They just refuse to be touchy, self-assertive, resentful. And they're celebrating things that are true. And they have a capacity to endure and trust and hope and carry on. That's how you tell that love is animating your life or someone else's life. Let's take a moment and pray. Gracious God, help us to use our gifts in loving ways to help our neighbors and fill us with your agape love that shapes and powers all we do and say. Amen. Thanks for being with us this week.